I don't know. Apparently, you have like food shipped in from like New York or something. It's ridiculous. Oh,
Why? Why would you do that?
I don't know. Because New Yorkers love their New York food. They want to have it no matter where they move to. I
I
don't make the
found
rules.
a food delivery service that only gives you the ugly foods that supermarkets rejected because they're too
I have
ugly to
that.
sell. Do you
I
really? Do
have
you like
that.
it?
Yes, I love it. They have
I
this
want to
like
buy the
dried
ugly
mango
foods.
shit that I buy like by the pound. It's so fucking good.
Oh my god. I want to buy the ugly foods.
It's so good. And like half the time they're not even ugly. They I don't know what their criteria is. They're just like
Aw,
regular ass food. I
I
don't
just
know.
want to buy them so they get a home.
Ew.
But we all know their fates, though. Regardless, they all get eaten.
They get munched. All right.
Yeah.
Are you ready? I'll
Are
give us.
you ready?
I
I'm
am.
here.
For once, I'm actually ready, if you can believe it. I have a recap for us. Last we scribed, the various members of Algavat awoke in the folded cloth, still under the care of Shayla Ludov. Within, they discussed next steps, but one thing was agreed upon amongst most, if not all of them, to Quilldeep, the capital of the Breszi Empire, in search of answers and connections to leverage. Heading to the Tribute's Keep, intending to prepare your cart for the trip ahead, with the knowledge of the Triple Fall Expanse, having traveled it before. Gardak was immediately recognized by the proprietor, Kirla Dis. She remarked on Gardak's now wife, and awaited the visitation of the three of them when Gardak could bring the family up. From Kirla, they purchased a spare wheel, extra blankets, and a top cover for the cart. Upon setting out, they found travel to be difficult, but not unmanageable, until they came upon a sudden and intense snowstorm, which within the span of 20 minutes turned on to a full-on blinding blizzard. Drusk, leveraging Druidcraft to check the weather, was surprised to learn that this weather was seemingly not natural. Yet it continued to batter them. Choosing to pull off the road before risking the integrity of the cart, Maslin attempted to raise a tiny hut as shelter. At first, he was battered and lost the casting of the spell. The rest of them gathered around to body block from the storm, and doing their best to keep the horses warm, he tried again. Managing success, they vied to wait out the storm, during which they heard something batter the cart, and upon investigating learned that something akin to perhaps Draku's capabilities had struck the cart's wheel, rendering it broken. They opted to remove the second wheel, and I lost my spot, and take the spare, and continue their shelter within Maslin's spell. When the blizzard subsided, Rox scanned the opposing cliff line and spotted two figures emerging, a pale elven woman with silver and white hair holding a singular staff, and a humanoid with almost accentuated features, sporting scarlet hair. The pair seemingly accompanied by, and in command of, large white direwolves of a form. A fight ensued, and Algavat managed to best the ambushers. However, the scarlet-haired individual escaped through the use of an as of yet unknown incantation. I lost my spot again. Good to know. Safe for the moment, Algavat reassembled the cart and continued onward, finishing out the journey back down the Savamark Road. Drusk worked with Zesserin and Maslin, both, to finish out two cloaks he had been attempting to work on through. At times, Zesserin's more self-taught nature shining through as the guide that was needed. At others, Maslin's more refined, logical, prescribed approach. Together, you both learned a bit about each other's individual shorthand and notation strategies. After a few days of travel, they lay eyes upon a familiar sight. The Azure Grove, the recessed trees and recessed valley. Upon descending past the canopy and proceeding towards the northward on the Azure Path, they see again the first greeting of the Azure Grove coming in from the south, the low hovel and accompanying small garden of Fenrin Varrick's home. The Rox and Maslin choosing to dismount, the rest of them continued inward towards the full weave. Rox and Maslin decide to take tea, Rox mostly just happy to see Fenrin again, but Maslin having approached him with a different concern. They share scant details about where each are from. Fenrin describing a grove as seems to be his lot in life, a family called to oversee and bound by their desire to better things where they can, yet over time his family and siblings filtered outward, leaving Fenrin alone. And the people of the Azure Grove now looking solely to him. Maslin seemingly wishes to send a message far, far to the northeast. Fenrir admits he doesn't think he'd be much help in this matter, but suggests that they talk about it in the morning. Perhaps with Genfield present, they can all figure something out. As the rest of Algavat entered within the full weave, they can see now it's not as active as it was during Garn's End, finding themselves a drink, tables, and rooms for the night, and after a quiet discussion. Rox and Maslin proceed down the road to join the rest of the group in the full weave, and now stand there, outside the full weave, the double windows painting the road and them with a yellow glow. As the small conversation and the clink of tankards can be heard within, Rox, Maslin, you two share a glance between each other as you stand in front of the full weave.
Undoubtedly, we should make our way inside, gather the others, try to decide our next steps, where our journey will take us.
I think that's a good idea.
As you both walk within the full weave, you enter in through the familiar door. Rox kind of leading the front and Maslin trailing behind. You almost don't notice as two figures kind of make their way out just behind the door of you. And the rest of you all spotting your two friends now having arrived inside of the full weave. I'm assuming you go and find your seats.
Yeah.
The majority of you are now gathered near the hearth. The fire burns low, the embers soft, but a nice glow. And you can see Renoa Cecily coming around and stoking the fire a little bit, as she now has guests that might be in the main area for a little while longer. You are free to discuss amongst yourselves anything you wish.
So are we going by sea or by swamp? We never decided.
Swamp would be faster, wouldn't it?
Are you asking me?
Swamp would probably be
Just in
safer.
general.
Yeah, didn't we decide that swamp was faster? I think I do remember that.
Well, yeah, the other way we'd have to go on a days-long boat trip, and I don't think that would happen if we went through the swamp. So,
The swamp is more dangerous, though.
Yeah, there will be danger.
there's danger either way. You're
True.
kind of
I don't
attract.
know. Is there danger on the water?
I will say,
Yeah,
because I
find out
remember
if we
we
want to do
rolled
that.
some checks. You know that the Qatar Divide, which is what the swamp is called, was the final battle place of the War of Broken Souls, as well as most of the front line of the War of Broken Souls. So, take that as you will. It is normally not traveled. And the three towns that are within the swamp, I should probably pull this up so I can tell you. There is Middleswood, Wormhold, and Slipmore. Most people are born, live, and die in those towns. Travel
Sounds
is
like a
not
banjo playing sort of place.
There's a swamp.
All I know is we got that token of speed or whatever.
The fan.
Yes, the fan. I thought it was a token for some reason. Oh, yeah.
I think it's a fan token. Yeah.
Fans.
Like I said last time, I'd rather not travel by boat. If you guys are worried about danger, last time I was on one, I almost died. So, I'd kind of like to not do that again.
Well, though it's not the path I would choose. If that's where you all are going, I am still to follow.
Madeline, you and I talked about, how we can kind of empathize with each other because there's someone we need to get to. So I think you can empathize with me when I say that I need to get there as fast as I can.
Well, we'll make haste.
What time of day is it?
At this point, it is nearing evening and night. The sun has set.
Well, we should get prepared for our journey tomorrow then.
I think we kind of rise early and maybe speak with Ginfield and then head out.
Sounds like a good plan.
Okay. You all retiring to your individual rooms for the night. You find yourself
Yeah.
well and long rested. Each of you all kind of awake in varying differences and make your way downstairs. Early in the morning, probably about when the very first of you arrive, you notice Fenrin in the corner, just kind of already aware of your presence, sitting there kind of nursing a tea at a small table. Looks like it did seat about 3 comfortably. And by the time that the rest of you all filter in and find your individual seats, Genfield joins him as well. And they both take notice of you and raise their individual glasses. You all are gathered around, and Renoa Cecilia comes along, offering whatever it is you may want to drink or eat for the breakfast. After running around for 12 times, I finally found my Azure Grove notes, so that's good. So, you all are provided whatever drink it is that you need, seeing as how the Azure Grove still owes you a sizable debt. You're left to talk amongst yourselves and wave over Fenrin and Genfield if you choose.
Well, Maslin's gonna sit down next to Genfield.
Okay.
Good morning, sir.
This is the morning, correct? Okay,
Yes, this is the morning. Which reminds me, I need to mark off a day. Ah, Aslan, well met. And you see the familiar visage of the dark-skinned half-elf, and he's kind of switched over to these like maroon, almost darker, but with bronze trim vestments that he's kind of wearing. Let's go talk with all your friends, shall we? I'd very much like to hear what all you guys discovered in Welter Grove. It must be quite the story.
It was quite a harsh travel, actually. But I'll leave that for the details for the whole group to divulge.
Well, let's get to it, shall we? Fenrir, come on. Oh, well, certainly. They kind of both rise and find their way. They kind of scrape a chair over to your table, and both of them kind of sitting close to each other, kind of at the end, just kind of taking you all in. You can see Fenrir with his wide grin. Genfield kind of reserved, but you can tell he's a little excited. So, you guys made your all the way to Welter Grove and back? Tell me everything. Tell me what you saw. Tell me what you experienced. What happened out there? Did you find the answers you were looking for?
Oh,
You
Maslin
found
looks
more
around.
questions.
We found, yes, a lot of strange things. Troubling news for all of us was discovered at the very least.
Well, start at the top.
Well, turns out these evildoers that have been plaguing these lands, they have some scheme of grand magnitude that they wish to enact upon all of us, it seems. And somehow, they seem to have stricken at almost all of us individually, by one means or another.
This group, you say, who?
Out of character, I can't remember what their official name was.
The cloak serpent, or
They go by the Cloak Serpent, but we've learned that they have some ties to older group that went by the same name.
You all asked me about the Death Chieftain when we arrived. They're not related, I don't think. I'm not certain about this cloaked serpent you speak of. Is this something any of you have a history with? You said they struck at some of your pasts. I know Rox, your tribe was displaced. I thought that was by the Death Chieftain, though.
No, it looks like it was the cloaked serpent. We found some of their weapons too. What seems to be just this cataclysmic bomb that they can set off multiples of and literally wipe out a civilization like mine. Gardak's seen it before too, but apparently they've come a long way with their technology. So what we've learned about them, you know, they can only get worse, and they need to be stopped immediately.
So what's your next steps?
Headed to the capital.
To Quilldeep. That'll be quite the journey. I trust you plan to charter a ship through Port Talonville, yeah?
I think we decided against that, actually, taking an alternate route through the Qatar Divide.
Oh, that's a brazen play. I will have him. Okay, yeah. Gardak, I don't know how many connections you still have, but there is Goran Tink at the Limeholt Garrison. He's most famous for that gondola, if you remember the Batau gondola. It descends all the way to Middleswood. It could cut your trip a little shorter. I still don't recommend going through the Qatar Divide. Most people get lost. But you seem a capable sort.
I'll have to look into that. I hadn't.
It was just
Guess
an idea.
remembered.
I mean, if you plan to... I hope you don't plan to take your cart through the Qatar Divide. I'm afraid it will never make it.
No, we would probably have to sell that and the horses.
He kind of glances over at Fenrin, and Fenrin just kind of... This small nod that's almost imperceptible. Well, you wouldn't have to sell it necessarily. I could hang on to them for you. I mean, in case you ever wanted it again, we'll just park it around back, and, you know, I can care for some horses.
That'd be very kind.
Well, how far away are the swamp?
The Qatar Divide itself, from the Azure Grove, the 3 Empire kids reasoning it out, would probably be a 4.5-day journey just to get to the southern edge of Veneer's Walk, which is where the road ends and the swamp begins.
And that's by foot.
Well, that would probably be by cart. Well, 4
We
days.
could always have him drop us off and then take the horses back.
Yeah.
Well,
You
that was
could.
going to lead to my other question. Is there a town that's a lot closer to Qatar Divide?
Make a history check, Gardak and Draku, since you're asking.
Ah, neat. 22.
12.
Gardak, you're scantily familiar, having originally discussed it many years ago with Commander Vonkin. There is a small, basically just an inn that is emplaced upon the edge of the Qatar Divide as it kind of descends into the misty valley that it encompasses. It is known as the Last Stop, and it is nothing more than a simple inn and hovel for those who brave the Divide.
So yeah, we could either leave it there, or we can ask. We can pay him extra to drive us out there and drop us off, like
I think that's probably
my
really good.
mom in elementary school.
Yeah, I wouldn't
can-
leave our stuff there. That seems
Well, I mean,
unwise.
who would you be paying? I'd be happy to do it. Azure Grove will be fine without me for a few days, I'm sure. Well, yeah, they'll be alright. They got Genfield anyway. And you see Genfield kind of chuckles to himself.
Speaking
Well-
of which, Genfield, since we're kind of committed to this, I guess, course of action, do you have anything that might be of use to us?
Oh, well, I have actually a little something I was working on. I think I told you about it whenever I was first. It's still not done, but it's the primer of the essence of advanced tinctures. Should let you get a little bit more potency out of some of the ingredients, especially those I found in the Western Grove. But in the Qatar Divide, I bet little Drusk there could make some use of it. It is, and you're free to look it up as he shares the details with you. It is a primer, a book on distilling potions. They are more potent and more helpful when you create healing potions with them. However, imbibing multiple or a one of a large enough quantity seems to give some disadvantages. He's not entirely certain on the time frames because he hasn't had a whole lot of time to test it, nor a lot of test subjects to test it on. And his metabolism is probably not like yours.
Pop a big pharma. Do I need like equipment to distill these potions?
You would, but I mean, I can sell you the simple beaker and distillery products. It's not a big... It's a bit of a pain to set up, though, especially in the field.
Well, I was thinking about possibly building a distillery on the cart.
Well,
Breaking Bad vibes.
not sure
Like
how
a
that would quite
station.
work. You would need a securing and a mooring point. And then probably... Well, I have seen your cart. It is covered now. Who did the mooring on that one?
I don't remember the lady's name off the top of my head.
Kira. Kira did.
Yeah, I think her name was Kirla Dis. One of your guys' mics is very loud. Oh, it's you, Ian.
Me?
Yep. Kirla, yes, lovely gal. Haven't seen her in quite some years. Well, it could be possible, I suppose. It wouldn't make travel exactly fun. The equipment isn't exactly big, but it does take up space. Cart's
No,
only
that's
so
fair.
large.
It was only theoretical. I was just
You could certainly
examining
try.
my options.
That's always an option.
But that is a thing for another time.
Understood. Well, I don't mean to dissuade you from your own ideals, but if you happen to know a captain in Port Talonvale, it's a lot safer traveling from Fortune's Crossing to Quilldeep than it is going through the Qatar Divide. But that's up to you guys.
I have a bad experience with boats, so
Well, not much fun for sailing myself. Well, if you are dead set on going to the Qatar Divide, perhaps go see Gorn Tink at the Limehold Garrison. He might be able to ferry you down. I'm not sure what he'll ask or what it will cost, but you could try.
Well, perhaps we should gather up some potions and head out while the day is still young.
Agreed.
how much for that book you were talking about?
Well, seeing as how I kind of need some test subjects for it, if you're willing to give me some feedback next time you're around, 20 gold pieces. The real editions would cost a lot more. If they're as potent as I think. So, the Qatar Divide it is.
I'm still. Dope Potion Book Volume 1.
So tell me, because I'm immensely curious, is there anything else you found while you were in Welter Grove? Any items or anything interesting maybe I can try to emulate?
Oh yeah, we did find a staff that we can't make use of.
How do you mean?
And I will remove ice staff that we pulled off the dead lady. That none of us can seem to make use of.
Ian, your mic is drowning out Zag.
It's like background noise.
Yep,
Like a fan directly into it.
pretty much.
Oh shit, there is. Maybe this fan?
Yes.
Probably that fan.
That fan right there.
Yes,
It gets hot in here.
it's
Oh my-
probably that fan.
Fucking thing plays Call of Duty. Fucking gets hot. Alright.
Really fucking fun.
Yeah, I will pull out from the handy haversack the staff we picked up off the dead elven lady.
Okay. Kind of watch as he draws some sigils real quick through the air. Ah, a gray staff. You must have had quite the fight for that one. Well, I can't make use of it either. But maybe I can do a little something. Have to be modified. Surely you found something else. It must be very exciting over there. in Welter Grove.
Ask, where did we get that ring of mist?
You guys got the Ring of Mist from Alfdrax's lair, if I recall.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we should probably tell him about Althrax.
Yeah, so I'll just show her the ring then.
Who's her? Genfield?
Or who? Oh, Genfield. Oh, never mind him. I'll
Yeah.
show Genfield that. Yeah.
As you kind of like produce your hand, and it's just this misty ring. It's nothing. It's not a corporeal in any sense. He kind of like rubs his finger over your knuckle as it's resting there. Now that is curious. I wonder how long ago that was made.
Yeah, we met a snake thing in a cave.
Eyeball, man, lady.
Oh,
He identified himself as a guardian from very old times.
a snake eyeball thing?
No,
No,
snake
they
and
were
an
separate.
eyeball.
Yeah, it was a snake and an eyeball, like a floating eyeball.
With other tentacle eyeballs coming out of it, no less. Both very scarred. they seem to have been fighting for an eternity.
And you
Purple
just these were just hanging out in Welter Grove?
No, this was in a cave beneath it.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Is he kind of like
Did we ever get to Eyeball's name?
Actually, I think I did.
you
Alfdra.
you all have possession of a letter?
No. I know we know of the name. I didn't know if we ever connected it or
No, I remember.
he ever spoke to us with the name.
I remember writing it down. It did, and I would tell them.
Well, Cordo did tell you about Alfdrax after you had
Oh.
already killed her.
Makes sense.
So the eyeball's name was Alfdrax.
Hmm.
And the
Okay.
snake thing was Cordo.
Yeah.
Right. And the eyeball called itself the Guardian or the snake thing?
The snake
The
thing.
snake entity.
Cordo did.
Interesting. I wonder if... And he kind of glances over at Fenrir. Fenrir kind of like slowly nods. You can tell this is... Like they're pensive about your story because what they're hearing is the stuff of myth about old guardians long past. Well, what did all this have to do with anything?
Well, that is a good question. I recall that they had been, the two of them, encased in some tower underground that once the membrane broke, they were both slowly set free.
Well, I think it was Alfdrax was keeping Cordo prisoner. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know really what the connection with the cloaked serpents was, but it was in their den.
Hmm.
Although I guess they really came in, they made it theirs long after they had been imprisoned there.
It was
Or
where we
Alfdrax in
found
prison.
some evidence of the people that I know that have been captured by the cloaked serpent, and maybe even some sort of sacrifice ritual, but I found remnants of someone I know in that cave, and as we went deeper, we found Alfdrax.
Yeah, it sounds like Aldrax might be the depth chieftain.
Oh. And you see Fenrir's brow kind of furrow. Well, Eknes did come by and talk to me the other day. I hadn't seen her in quite some time. That wasn't your doing, was it? She apologized.
I think that was our doing. I
Well-
made them promise to restore the Kaya tree.
She said that the people she was talking to, apologies to those who needed it, was the first step. I'll try to reach out in the coming days and see if I'm taking you somewhere. I guess I won't be. But I'll try to reach out once I'm back and see how the Kaya tree's doing. I'd be happy to see starting to get restored. Probably take some time. The union between the Moonweaver and the Wild Mother, it's, only siblings I got left. So,
Did you say only siblings you have left?
oh, yeah, I was talking to Maslin the other day. He was asking about my past. Yeah, a lot of us Variks came here when it was still known as Nestle Keep, or just at the end. Now it's known as the Azure Grove. It's all fine. But yeah, me and my family came here. We were asked to kind of watch over the Azure Grove and make sure everything was copacetic here. Most of my siblings filtered out over the years. Parents fell ill, old. I'm the only one left here. That's okay, though. I got all the people of the Azure Grove, and I got Genfiel.
So the Moonweaver is your sister?
Oh, no, sorry. I follow Melora, the Wild Mother. I just liked her
Okay,
union, is
okay.
all.
I misunderstood. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. If I was the sister of a goddess, I wouldn't be here now, would I?
That's what I was asking.
That would be crazy. You imagine what it'd be like being the sister of a goddess? Oof. I don't know if I want that. I already got enough troubles with the Azure Grove as is. You know, that reminds me, Genfield, I gotta get to talking to you about expanding out in the Western Grove. And he just kind of goes on this long, drawn-out tangent. As the two of them kind of break away into their own conversation, leaving the two of you, or the rest of you, to discuss anything you might like or re-engage them, because right now they're just kind of locked in this. It's like watching two brothers just swap stories and share silly stuff.
Do we need any supplies for the journey, or do we have...
I don't believe I have any healing potions left.
I feel like we should stock up.
I agree.
Do it.
I know I have some herbs. I just need some time so I can make some. Yeah, I do agree that if we could purchase them, ideal. Hey, Ginfield.
Yeah, sorry. As you see, as he kind of ripped out of the conversation with Fenrir. Oh, I'll wait. It's fine.
Do you have any healing potions?
Oh, I was sorry. I was still stuck in Fenrir. I should. I've been stocking up a bit from the Western Grove. What, are we interested in purchasing some healing potions?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, certainly. I wasn't planning on opening the shop for another hour, but you all are some special customers. We can make do. You all quite finished with your breakfast then?
Just about.
Very well. Feel free to meet me at Genfield's Revelations when you're ready. As he kind of stands up and you see he kind of fixes his vestments, the maroon and bronze trimmed cloak, makes his way out. Well, I should probably get the final bits left out of my field, unless you all be needing something else from me.
I think not for now, but we'll know where to find you, friend.
I hope by this point you would.
We'll grab probably the one or two items in my room and make sure we don't have any unpaid expenses and start gathering the cart.
As you guys kind of bring the cart around the full weave, gathering all of your belongings within and yourselves in the street. Heading to Genfield's Revelations, I suspect?
Yep.
Okay. You guys trot the cart down the sequestered road that kind of turns out and off. It's a dead end of sorts, and at the end is Genfield's Revelations. You can see the sign, the door, the wraparound warehouse, all familiar haunts by this point.
As we walk, I'd like to do speak with animals, tell the horses the plan so they don't think we're leaving them.
Okay. What are you telling the horses when you finish to speak with animals?
So that the plan is for Fenrir to take the cart and drop us off at the last stop or near the last stop, and then he's going to take them back to the Azure Grove and take care of them. We'll be back for them. We love them very much. They're in good hand.
Ooh, who's Fenrir?
I'd just point at him.
So you point down an empty road?
Is he not there anymore? Oh, shoot, I got him.
Takes you 10 minutes to do speak with animals. Fenrir's gone.
You're right.
Tell him he'll be traveling with us.
Yeah, he'll be traveling with us. He'll be driving the cart. Drop us off.
Oh, all right. When are we going to... Never mind. He kind of like sags its horse head. Get the sense it doesn't really fully understand that it's swapped ownership from the original owners, who probably purchased it in Port Talonvale.
Aw.
To bring it south. To bring goods. That's probably what it's been doing its entire life. Shepherding goods.
Our poor confused horses.
Yeah, they've been some wild places the past couple weeks.
Okay, well, let's give them time to rest.
So, after Rox, you guys arriving, a couple minutes go by, Rox finishes speaking with the horses. You all make your way inside Genfield's Revelations. There you can see, just finishing up a small project. It's this, oh boy, notes. I have them in the wrong spots. It's this kind of wolf or eye-shaped pendant. And as you can see, he's kind of putting things aside. Oh, sorry. I just was wrapping up another periaptive attentive action. Those customers during Garn's End were quite interested in those. So, we were interested in some healing potions, yes? As he kind of leans underneath the underneath the cart, and brings up these small cartons full of a couple vials of healing potions. I don't really have a whole lot. I just have a few standard potions for you guys. 30 gold pieces apiece. I mean, come on, I'm not going to rob you. Besides, you owned some of it since you helped me clear the Western Grove. And we just lost Caroline.
30.
We what? Yeah, you said 30. I don't know if I'm going to fix this. I think I'm just going to leave it. Because Caroline's going to be back. I think I'm just going to leave it. Because if I change it now, I have to change it again. I actually have an idea.
Yeah, give her a minute.
How many does he have?
He has 3 potions available for you guys.
Madsen's gonna want one.
I'll buy all 3 and distribute them out.
Okay, so 90 gold pieces over to Genfeel. I actually have a very bright idea. This is genius. Absolute genius. I will make another template on the fly because I can. And because we have the technology.
I'll hand 1 potion to Maslin.
Yay! Yippee!
Who wants another one? I got 2 more.
I've got one, so okay.
Raku,
Sorry?
do you need a potion?
I have 1 already.
Zassarin, how many do you have?
I have 1.
Zassarin, both of you take another.
All right.
Okay.
Now I have 2. Uh-oh. Power went out. Apparently.
That's a shame. While I try to fix this as best I can.
Bought a generator. Kidding.
I mean, you can get like a UPS. You can get pretty wild with that. But anywhoosies, sorry. That was me being distracted by technicals. As Genfield's kind of mitting in the coin from Drusk. Ah, well, yeah. I do still have those other projects if you wanted them. As if I could find my fucking notes, which I can't. So, anyway. You guys are kind of standing there in the...
What project do you have?
Oh, jeez. You had to ask me while I can't find my notes, huh? No, I've got a great idea. I'll pull it up on my tablet. It's going to take me a hot minute. I do know that I have this periaptive attentive action. It's one that I sold during Garn's End, but you're welcome to have it. It'll let you press on for a few days, after which you'll be quite exhausted. I also should have... If I could ever pull it up. We're just having all sorts of problems here in this session. It's great. Although mine is purely a clerical error, as I literally cannot find the piece of paper that I was looking at half this time. She's back. Quick. Change it back.
I've returned.
Oh my god, it worked.
Yeah.
I'm a genius. Alright.
Cardiac surprisingly has no money now. It's so strange.
That's weird.
Bizarre. How did that happen?
As well as I have the object that I think you guys passed on last time. I called this one the Ghostwalker's Pendant. It should let you see footsteps of any humanoids that pass through the area for a time. So you're free to look that up. You can see this kind of... it's almost shaped like the head of a knoll with these 2 blue, almost azure inset eyes. The essence of it, as far as I can recall off the top of my head, but it is called the Ghostwalker's Pendant. You're free to look it up. Is that once you activate it, the footsteps of any humanoids who have passed through an area around you are illuminated, and you can kind of track them for a number of minutes equal to half your character level. So, gets better with time.
And how much are you trying to sell that item for, sir?
I keep finding myself wanting to give you all good prices because of all the good things you've done for me. 200 gold pieces, we'll say.
Fuck it, yeah.
Okay. You are handed this kind of almost chain necklace with a wolf inset knoll head of sorts. And you may add to your inventory a Ghostwalker's pendant.
Can never find stuff on D&D Beyond.
Just go to your manage equipment, add items, and type in the word ghost. I bet it'll show up.
Oh, there we are.
So, you can see as he kind of like waves his hand, and a few books get slotted down almost in front of him. He starts to reach for them. Anything else I can help you all with? I suppose I won't be seeing you for a while if you're going all the way to Cooldeep. Well, if I see you again.
I hope
Hey,
so, good friend.
Greenfield, I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar with such weaponry, but I'm looking for anything that can help me kind of extend my reach. Maybe hit people that are a little bit further away from me, staying kind of a safe distance back.
What, with that, as he kind of nods towards your axe?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not aware of anything that I have.
Okay.
You might find better luck at Smithers Combe. They specialize in weaponry.
Okay.
It's a town on the other side of the divide. Never mind. I'm sure Gardak can show you.
Sure.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Well, I must say, last time you guys were here, you had me flying spells a mile a minute with the Northern Contingency. We sure we don't need anything else?
I have one question. I'm trying to get a letter sent very far north to a mountain range. Do you have any idea of how to help me acquire such a feat?
Well,
It has to be a normal letter, and it has to be delivered in person, or physically delivered.
well, he kind of points towards Draku. He has my paper of message. Should cover a fair amount of distance.
Yeah, I'm not
How
so
far
sure.
are you trying to send it?
I would have to ask the DM what the actual distance would be, in my relative knowledge.
Your relative knowledge, make an intelligence check.
Wow, that's not good. That's a fat 10.
It was a long journey. Many days.
Well, I'm gonna tell him that. But I'm also gonna say that I'm not so sure that those letters work because the letter has to reach a spot and then it has to be picked up by someone else. So I'm not sure if the letter of message would work for that.
The paper of message has to be specified to a sender or to a recipient. And
Yeah, it
given
wouldn't
a
work.
decent description of where to fly and what to find. As you know, because you strive to get one to Empress Zarya.
I'm gonna have to keep an eye out for an opportunity while we're on the road then.
Well, you can always send a message through Arcane Means if you know somebody. Afraid I don't have a scroll for it, but I do have the capability to do so. Who or what are you trying to send it to? Home? What is home? That's a good question. You've been rather close-lipped about it.
Home is in the mountains. Very deep in them.
A lot of mountains around here. Talking about the Chantalian Sierras or Venmore Range?
It's past the Venmore range.
Well, my paper of message won't make it.
Well, thank you for the guidance.
Happy to have not helped. My apologies. Do let me know if you need anything else.
Thank you, friend.
Absolutely. I hope to see you 6 again. Someday.
Hopefully.
Well, I'll be here, working away on my things, talking the ear off of Fenrin as much as he talks mine. Maybe we'll make things better. We'll come back to the Azure Grove and we'll be flush and lush with happiness and life. See this kind of chipper, almost half loving smile, half fake smile. As he just doesn't really believe everything he says.
Aslan, remember, if you need to get a message, I can send something about 150 miles.
Well,
In range.
if we come closer, I'll be sure to ask of it, friend.
I will remind you, you do have Feanor's Call.
I do?
Nope. Drusk does.
I don't think that sends messages.
Certainly does.
Oh, yeah, it does. Yeah, when I read it last time, I read the third one, the messenger capability, as only lasting 5 minutes because they're stacked right next to each other.
Understandable mistake, and probably an error on my part in writing it.
No, that's fine. I was just like, oh, like I can get a message for 5 minutes. I was like, oh, okay, cool. No, I guess I can send a message with a reasonable description anywhere on this plane of existence.
I'll have to think on that.
If you need any idea of how to come up with the specifics of what instructions would be need to be give between the two of you, I'll make you roll some checks. Just let me know. Well, if you all don't mind, maybe I'll get back to my research, so when I see you all in 5 years, I'll have something interesting, shall I?
Best of luck, Kenfield.
So cynical.
And best of luck to you.
More specific. Maybe he knows something.
I know many things, dear Rox.
Right.
Okay, it's getting rather awkward in here.
Let us leave, my friends.
Take care.
Do I get like any kind of like threatening aura from everything he's saying to us, or is he just being like really strange and cryptic?
No, it's... Make an insight check.
An adventure that dice went on. 24.
When you first met Genfil, he was kind of this proper closed-in guy, and as you've talked to him time and time again, he kind of built this, or at least he thinks he's built this rapport with you guys, and that's just kind of, he has like this joking, you can tell he's taking the piss.
Okay. That just seemed very cryptic and
I thought
almost
so too.
threatening.
That's the same things you thought when you first met him.
Yep, thoughts haven't changed.
Interesting.
That's right.
Okay.
He's just the next Lord Slate.
Oh god.
Uh-oh.
As you all close the door of the Genfil's Revelations behind you, you're back out on the street, your cart in front of you. Whatever awaits you next, Algavat.
You all ready?
Ready as I'll ever be.
You're all mounting up in the cart and heading where?
Well, there was
Ow.
Guys,
Swamp.
the swamp, yes.
Yeah, I guess the swamp.
Don't we need
Okay.
to go pick up Fenrin first?
Fenrin, yeah.
Heading south along the Azure Path. This road leads you to the southern end of the Azure Grove and Genfield's little hovel. I'm assuming a couple of you dismount and knock on the door. You can see as this kind of a rustle within. You hear an item being dropped, and then as he kind of gets to the door, he Sorry, I had to mute my phone. As he gets to the door, he opens it slightly. Oh, and you can see now he's acquired a straw hat, which he's put on top, and he's got almost what looks akin to be like a walking stick. It's this kind of gnarled staff that kind of twists up at the end. You see he's got a little pack on. Oh, I really didn't think you all were serious when you said you wanted me to go with you, but I prepped anyway because I saw the look on her face. Well, if we're all ready, how do I do this?
Get in the cart.
Hop on the cart.
Get in, loser. We're going shopping.
Okay. It's been a while. And you see he kind of like clambers up onto the back of the cart, and then underneath the back cover, you have acquired +1 Fenrin Varric.
Yay!
Is he a +1 or no?
He can be a +1 if that's how you choose to invite him.
No, I mean like if I search him in D&D Beyond,
He's
is he
a +1.
or is he a +1 or a +2 Fenrin?
He's probably a character in my D&D Beyond character list, so you won't find him. Unfortunately.
Shame.
Wouldn't you like to know? So, all of you choosing to go south on the Azure Path and then down Veneer's Walk, or are we taking the side road to the Limehold Garrison?
Oh yeah, there was that option. Are we going there?
Whichever way is faster.
Whichever way is safer.
Well, this is more of your guys' decision, not mine. I'm not coming with you. Well, I'm coming with you that far. Lost power again. Don't worry, I can fix this. Boom. Gosh. It's like I am actually prepared. What the hell?
Well, I, for one, might really enjoy
On Caroline.
figuring out what a gondola ride is.
It's the thingy in Italy where the guy sings to you while he rows you and your lover down the river.
What? I have so many questions. Italy?
Professional third wheel.
Yeah, no kidding.
Make a history check, Maslin.
Oh, that was pretty good. Oh, wow. That was really good. 25.
You've heard travelers from the edges of the known realms of Balerosoa claiming to be from Italy. You're not sure if that's what Rox is talking about.
Oh my god.
Let me specify that was Alyssa.
So, is it meant to be a romantic thing, or is it just a means of travel?
Whatever you want it to be. A boat ride.
Wait, we're passing on one boat ride to go on another boat ride.
It's a smaller boat, I guess.
You've
It's a
been
very small
swindled.
boat.
How are you gonna get a boat through a swamp?
In the water.
Have you ever been in a swamp? It's kind of thick and like not really like boat material.
I thought we were just gonna walk.
I thought so too.
All right, well,
If you
let's
got some
forego that.
swamp horses. I don't know.
I think you're talking about alligators.
I mean,
Yeah.
You can't ride those.
I can be one. Like if we
You don't know that.
I was about to say, it sounds like we can ride an alligator now.
I mean, we all got the charisma.
I mean, if you want the experience, like I guess. All right, I guess we're walking. Swamp.
So we're just heading straight to down Veneer's Walk and hoofing it into the Guitar Divide.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I literally don't know what my options here are. And
There
you're
are options.
Walking or on a different boat.
I will break it down one last time before we depart the Azure Grove. There is the possibility of going to Port Talonville and chartering a ship.
right.
Yeah. There's the
Draku, you
possibility.
happen to
Right,
know a
agreed, that's
captain.
up.
You happen to know a captain from Port Talonville. Or you can just charter any old boat. Genfiel suggested talking to Goran Tink at the Batau Gondola, which is located in the Limehold Garrison. Or you can just hoof it. I leave this up to you.
Yeah, no idea what the gondola is.
We could at least talk to him, see if he has any tips for getting through the swamp one way or another.
Yeah, how far off the path is it? Does anyone know? Like, is it like an extra 3 days round trip or?
Okay. Well, Gardak failed the history check to know what the Batau Gondola is, but he can easily tell you that it'd be a day and a half, 2 days travel, just to get to the Limehold Garrison.
Is it next to the entrance to the swamp?
No, it is a bit off the path, and whatever this Batau Gondola is, seems to be, as Genfield described it, a descent into Middleswood, which is a town in the center of the Qatar Divide.
Well, it does sound like it'd be an opportunity for us to touch base with 2 towns. I mean, we could learn a lot just from the 2 separate vestiges. It might be worth looking.
I'm not against it as long as it's not another boat.
All right, we will, in theory, not get in a boat.
I'd like to, in practice, not get in a boat, but okay.
How long is your polymorph shit?
The what?
My wild shape?
Yeah.
A number of hours equal to half of my druid level. So currently 2.5 hours. But I can do it twice, so I could do anything for 5 hours.
Yeah, then you don't have to get in the boat. You can just fly.
I don't know how long the gondola ride is.
That's the problem. I can't fly, so you know.
Oh, okay, you cut out. I didn't know that.
You could be a fish.
I get the ability to fly in wild shape at 8th level. So we're
Can you be
off.
a fish?
I mean, I can swim just as fast as any fish can, so.
Lizard overboard.
Pardon me. Are you guys having second thoughts? Because I mean, I can finish what I was.
Oh no, we're ready.
Garrison, yeah.
And I'll snap the reins.
I thought we were already
Okay.
on the way.
It is just about the rest of the day's travel as you guys enter into and under the shadow of the Gravenden Range, which is just south of the Azure Grove. This is a familiar road. It's the one you took in to the Azure Grove when you finished all of your... what started you out in the Bella Range in meeting those 2 twin hobgoblins. You stop for a moment at the familiar fog-covered pool just in the shadow of the Gravenden Range for a quick rest where some of you decided you were on future paths. Rox discovering your totem there. Drusk taking a dive in and just chilling underwater because #flex. You guys all pack up the rest of your things, move on, and by the end of the day, your travel reaches you just barely to the edge of Veneer's Walk. You know, it's not but another 30 minutes travel before you hit that road, which should lead you south, and then onto the side road that leads to the Limehold Garrison. But I'm assuming you stopped for the night.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of you stopping for the night. Everybody setting up camp. I'm guessing you tie the horses to a nearby tree or some other place, finding a nice alcove. We setting up tiny hut, or are we camping in the open?
Tiny hut.
Tiny hut.
Fire, no
10
fire.
out, baby.
The one within the.
Well, you do know that the hut is climate controlled, so you need theoretically no fire. It is comfortable in there. Okay. All of you kind of gathering together. How many people does the tiny hut fit?
Boy, I thought it was like 7 or 8 or something.
I think it is too, but, you know, I'm not going to look it up. I'm going to make you tell me.
9 medium creatures.
Nice. Okay. As you kind of sit down and begin working on this incantation, you see Fenrin just kind of dismounting from the cart, and genuinely, with your passive insight, you can tell this dude just doesn't know what to do. He hasn't traveled in years. He has no idea how to set up a camp, and he sees you working on a spell. He sees Drusk kind of looking around at various different plants. He's just kind of standing there, almost flabbergasted. As you finish the spell, what color are you making the dome?
Brown.
Okay.
Dirt brown.
As you watch this dome kind of fill in and out. Oh, geez, Dylan. What has happened?
I don't know. Audio stayed on, but video dropped.
As you kind of finish this dome, you can see Fenrir, his eyes go wide. What the heck is that? As you kind of finish this incantation and this dome kind of sprouts up. What is that?
Welcome to my little portable hotel, friend.
Okay.
It's quite nice. Come.
Alrighty. I gotta admit I'm a little spooked, but sure. As he kind of makes his way inside, you can see him kind of looking around, like just taking in the idea that he's inside of this transparent bubble. He kind of doesn't really comprehend exactly what's happening. Well, it's kind of nice in here, I gotta say. But I gotta admit I'm pretty darn confused.
Well, just pick any old spot to sleep for the night, friend.
Alright, as you see, he kind of lowers down this... what is the most patchwork bedroll you've probably likely ever seen. It's not great by any particular means. As he kind of lowers his bedroll down and spreads it out, the rest of you, I'm assuming, grabbing bedrolls as well and laying them out. So, resting down for the night, there will be the standard 3 watches, I imagine. Unless you
First
guys
watch.
choose not to watch.
I'll go first watch too.
Okay. Roll perception checks. You may talk amongst yourselves if you wish.
2.
I got a 21.
Okay.
16.
I'm not sure if there's anything for you guys to say amongst each other.
I've never been to a swamp before.
I have a feeling with Drusk leading us through, we'll be just fine.
I do hope. I know there will be a lot of critters and a lot of plant life. It will be interesting to witness.
Speaking of critters, I'm gonna let Bar Mitzvah out for a little while, walk around.
Okay.
Do animal things.
As you kind of watch at this point, the now familiar raccoon form of Bar Mitzvah just kind of paws his way out of the bag. Looks around, smelling, just kind of sniffing the open air. Kind of walks up to the edge of the dome and begins pawing at it, not really understanding exactly what it is or what's going on. And then eventually his paw passes through, and then he passes through and begins like walking around. You see, like, goes to and looks up at the horses. Just a curious raccoon by all accounts. So, second watch.
I'll take second.
Okay. Make a
Second.
perception check.
Let's go.
Big 10.
Wow, 11.
Okay. The two of you, not exactly certain the surroundings. It's been a while since you've been on this road, and you didn't rest here last time. You have a moment to talk amongst yourselves if you wish, or we can move on to third.
Move on.
Third
Yep.
watch. Perception checks.
8.
Okay. Draco, you find yourself alone on third watch, and you also find yourself nodding off on third watch.
I bet. Can I like also take watch with my little man?
Yeah, if you wanted to.
Yeah. No, I'd have him there with me.
Okay. You command him to watch out as well. Make a perception check for him.
I actually don't look. I got. Is it perception?
Indeed.
Yeah, I don't think he has any perception bonuses. So 5.
The both of you equally distracted for maybe different reasons during the night. However, as you kind of find yourself nodding off, morning does come. You manage to rouse yourself and make it look like you've been keeping watch the whole time before the rest of your party wakes up. But wake up, you all do.
Fake it till you make it.
Yep.
Good
Gathering
job,
all of
buddy.
your belongings together, mounting back up on the cart. See Fenrin kind of getting a little bit into the swing of things. Looks to be another day's journey, and then a churn onto the Limehold Garrison path. Gardak, about 10 minutes into the voyage, 20, 30, you come across a road that's familiar to you, Veneer's Walk. You know, if you dismounted now, head left, head north instead of south, you'd be back in Jopinscape. What do you do?
I guess reluctantly continue on with the group.
Okay. Some of you catch Gardak stealing a pensive glance north as you guys turn south. Continuing down and along, you now wrapping around the side of the Gravenden Range, and then the road splits again, turning left. Making your way down this road, you get a fair distance, and that's where we're going to take a break. So, back here in maybe 5-10 minutes, guys. Yee.
I want to name.
Heck yeah.
No.
All right. So, continuing down the side road that leads to the Limehold Garrison, everybody make a perception check for me. As you guys are kind of coming alongside this mountain range, which now looks familiar at this point. It's the Bellow Range. The first mountains you ever entered.
15.
Natural 20. 21.
Nice. Each of you kind of
15 as well.
peering out of the individual windows of the cart,
Good
pointing
thing.
pointing it out to each other. You can see now a high wall in the distance that seems to be perhaps a wall of the Limehold Garrison. Gardak, you are well aware that this is a garrison primarily stocked and populated by the Imperial Army during times of non-conflict, as is now. So, you all kind of continuing to wind the road as you see the Bellow Range looming closer on your left. Off to the right, for the first time properly, you all can see as you peer down and in the Qatar Divide. A, by all means, canopy-filled swamp. Fog rolling between just the very wisps of the canopy stretches as far as your eyes can see. I'll say with some of those perception checks, you can also see, coming just from the edge of the Limehold Garrison's high wall, these two thin lines. And every once in a while you can see these small objects floating up and floating down in unison. Might be the gondolas that were spoken about. Regardless, as you make your way to the final precipice, where the cliff that falls off into the Qatar Divide and the Bellow Range pressing close as it's kind of this sheer drop, you can see what couldn't be more than a couple 100 feet wide gap that kind of is enclosed with these sharp rocks that have fallen off of the Bellow Range, as well as the scattering up of the cliffside. And as it kind of comes to a head, I suppose I should have asked who was driving the cart.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it didn't really matter because there was no threat on the roads.
I'll say it was me. I'll drive.
Okay. Rox, as you're driving along, with your perception check, you're a little late to the party when it comes to noticing. But you do see.
I got an after party.
Oh, that's right. Never mind. Sorry, I confused you with Zesserins.
It's okay.
You see, standing in the middle of this opening, if you will, a gate almost defined entirely by rock, is a singular humanoid. From this distance, you can see just a very shiny glint of armor similar to Gardak's. It seems to be bronze in nature, but with streaks of crimson painted across it in varying different patterns. And as you kind of approach, you can see them kind of hail you. I'm assuming you stop the cart at a fair distance.
Yeah, I would.
Says, "Hey there. I was told you had a prime custodian aboard. Little birdie told me he might have been heading this way. Have a word?"
What's that?
I'll poke my
Who
head
are
out.
you and who's the birdie?
Oh, well, I'm Seldris Harrow. And you can see, as he kind of approaches a little bit closer, you can see a male half-elf in what seems to be Breszi Empire, you wouldn't know, armor. Gardak, as you kind of poke your head out, it's not hard to make out the striations and colors on the shield. He is a Breszi Empire Prime Guard. However, as Rox noted visually, there are these streaks of crimson painted across the shield and across the pauldron that has the colorations and across the chest. You haven't seen it before, but you also haven't been in service for a while. Oh, the birdies. They're some of my boys. They saw you in the Azure Grove. Could you send him over? I would like a word. Is he heading to the Limehold Garrison?
I
I
would
believe
just
we all were.
look back at Gardak, wide eyes, like, do you trust these people? Should we stop?
Uh, I say, and you serve the Breszi Empire, sir?
So at this point, you're not yelling, so I'm assuming you dismount and get a little closer? Or are you staying in the cart and yelling this?
I probably wouldn't get out. So
Okay.
We can just keep going.
Are you continuing the cart, or are you stopping? Because I had assumed
Continue
you
the
had stopped to have this conversation at a distance. Have you been rolling this whole time?
So we just roll at like a slow speed.
Yeah.
Keep
yeah.
moving, but like not moving fast.
Okay. Yeah, me and the boys, we serve the 3rd contingent at the Limehold Garrison. We'd like a word with you, if you don't mind.
I guess, does that seem reasonable to me? Do I believe that?
You haven't been in service for a while. You don't know what's standard practice anymore. I mean, you recognize the armor as a Prime Guard's armor.
Do I get a weird vibe from this motherfucker?
Make an insight check.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say out loud, this seems as good as a place to talk than any other. There ain't nobody out here.
23.
23. It's a little hard to read at this distance, but as you're kind of nearing closer and closer, you can see a little bit of like jitteriness in this individual. They're not used to doing this sort of thing. I'll put it that way. I forget. Somebody said something. This is about as good as places I need to talk. Yeah, quite, indeed. But I would like to talk with your friend privately. You free to discuss amongst yourselves, if you like.
If she wants, if you want to go talk to them, I'm not gonna be but like 15 feet away, 20 feet away.
All right, yeah, I'll hop out.
As you guys
Walk
kind
I
of...
have my dagger at panorama. I
I'm
can look.
keeping line of sight on Gardak.
Okay. Zesserin, are you using the dagger of panorama?
Yeah, I'll probably use that just to like make sure there's no like ambushes or anything.
Okay. As you pull out the dagger and kind of focus your vision through it, make a perception check. And Zesserin, as your vision kind of focus into the pommel of the dagger, and you see it almost twist, and your vision is fired up about a good distance into the air, and now you can see the Bellow Range on your left, the drop into the Qatar Divide on your right, the almost sheer rock gate of a form that is created here. What'd you get?
I rolled a 3, so probably not that much.
You see this singular individual standing in the center of the road. And you also
I'm gonna
see...
I'm gonna send my imp out just above the area to see if there's any other people that are in there.
Okay. Perception check. And what is the telepathic range on your imp?
Good question. I think it's 100.
I think it is as well. And you also see Zesserin is now... The cart is kind of slowed as Gardak has kind of jumped off and begins walking towards this figure.
18.
18. Okay. You see this singular figure in the road. You're not entirely certain if this... You don't know what to make of this. You've only interacted with the Prime Guard once, Draku. But your imp telepathically reports to you that he doesn't see squat.
All right, then I just pull him back.
Okay. Kind of keeping him within 10 feet of you, I imagine?
Yeah. Kind of just up and behind me.
For the protection, I would imagine.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Gardak now standing no more than 10 feet, 15 feet away from this individual. You get a far better look. The paint that's on this armor is not done in any proper manner, per se. It looks like it was made to deface the armor in some form. Prime Custodian all the way in the north. You would have thought if you had been up here, I would have heard about it. From where do you come? It can't be possibly from the Azure Grove.
That is correct. I am from Quill Deep originally.
Oh, I didn't know the Empress was sending one so far north. What's your charge, sir?
Well, I'm traveling with this group. We're actually heading back to the capital.
Oh, I meant the one you're in custodian of.
Oh, I am not currently in custodian of anyone.
Very well. Well, as I said, I'm Seldis Harrell. What's your name?
My name is Gardak.
Gardak. Not familiar with the name. Well, made yourself all the way to custodianship. Listen, I have a proposal for you and your friends. Me and some of the boys from the 3rd contingent kind of want to quell some of the unrest in Ridgebane. There's been a bit of a rebellion. And then with the Northern contingency and everything else, we'd like to bolster the return of independence and freedom to the people.
Understood. Tell me, in my time in travels, I haven't seen markings on armor such as yours. Could you perhaps elaborate on that?
Yeah, we're not exactly a part of the command structure anymore. We don't see eye to eye, if you know what I mean.
I'm afraid I don't. Could you
Well,
maybe elaborate?
Listen, the miners in Ridgebane, I'm sure you're familiar with the town, having traveled at least here a bit in the north. It is a town across from Jopinscape to the east. It is primarily a mining town, and has always been a center for unrest in the northern Breszi Empire. As he continues, the people of Ridgebane have stood up against the oppression of the Empire, and Commandant Mira Dursk, my mispronunciation, she saw forth to call forward to both other contingents and go crush the populace. She wasn't necessarily commanded to do so. Me and the rest of the 3rd contingent had a disagreement with that. Make a history check, Gardak.
14.
You're not certain what the 13th or what the 3rd contingent is comprised of.
Okay.
But you can easily piece together now the markings on his armor, the way he's talking about his lack of love for the command structure. He doesn't serve the Empire anymore. So listen, I know this is a lot to take in. I got a couple seekers with me. We were planning to stock up and bring freedom back to the people. Unfortunately, we're going to have to, we can't very well requisition things. We're not legal in the Breszi Empire anymore. We were going to hit Jopinscape in the next few days. If you guys wanted to turn around and go to the Azure Grove, we can meet back up. Make our way to Ridgebane.
Can
I hear
you...
this?
Dylan's face says it all for me.
I'm about to just fucking kill this dude.
His moral line is very up and down.
Can I hear this, DM?
Make a perception check as you're about 20 feet back on the cart.
Non-natural 20.
Oh, boy.
You hear the majority of this. You get the sense he's trying to recruit Gardak for something.
I'm gonna jump off of my place on the cart, look as intimidating and big and mean as I can, and come up behind Gardak.
You see as he kind of looks over your shoulder. Roll an intimidation check.
Oh no! Oh no!
You get for that natural 20.
That's a 3, but it was a natural one. So I just fucking fall face first off the cart.
Right. Well, look. It's an offer. You don't have to take me up on it. But you also don't have to report me.
Sure. I guess are you supplying that there's additional unrest in Jopinscape as well? I mean, as a custodian, I don't really.
Oh no,
know a lot
we just
about
know that they get
politics.
weapons from the Iodin, and we're gonna stock up and then supply the people over in Ridgebane. We won't hurt any more than we have to.
Oh,
I see.
that's
Interesting proposition. I guess I'm, like I said, I'm not super familiar with mining town is concerned. What is their, I guess, grievances?
Oh, well, they're always, and rightfully so, I would say, complaining about unfair pay for the work that they provide. And their town's in shambles. They're always calling over arcanists from Arkenhelm to help repair what little foundations exist. They've been a source of, well, the Empire's branded them bandits. Been a source of bandits for a while, if you believe what the Emperor and Empress say. But they're just honest working people trying to make a living.
Sure. Interesting.
So you will join us, won't you?
Well, I, to be frank, was not expecting to receive this proposition. I mean, we were just kind of on a traveling expedition. I'll have to.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. The reclamation that we're trying to put together here. I gotta pick and choose who I can contact when I can. I saw you at the Azure Grove and assumed you'd be heading to the Limehold Garrison. I know you're not from the 3rd Contingent, though.
That's true.
Or I'd have seen you.
Sure. This isn't entirely my expedition. I would have to confer with the rest of the group. But I respect your.
Well, if you're not charged with custodianship over any of them, I think you can make a decision. You're the one in command over these citizens, aren't you?
Well, of course, but I'm sure you would agree that some kind of like the tyranny of the Empire is not always preferred. I personally would prefer to, talk with the people as equals.
Make a persuasion check.
Rip. Big 6.
Oh no.
Yeah, well, I don't know what to say when you got commanders running around trying to go put down local populace that's just trying to make a living. I mean, I got family in Ridgebane. Mirladursk has never been nice to any of us, so.
DM, did I ever make my way actually up to Gardak?
You are on Gardak's back shoulder at this point.
Okay. I'm gonna elbow Gardak and go, he's just being modest. He's in charge of me.
As I would expect. Oh, you mean the custodianship? Well, you mind telling me where you're taking this young lass?
Well, like I said, we're heading to Quildeep. We have
see.
business with the Empress, so.
I see. All right. Well, if you're on way to the garrison, by all means. As he kind of steps off the road. Make a perception check, everybody.
21.
16.
18.
20.
12.
Maslin, you see a shifting off the side of the road, and you see the person before you, or the person before all you, Seldis, just raise his chin ever so slightly, as if in a command.
Maslin's elbowing everybody.
Alright, I'm casting mage armor.
Okay. Gardak, as you and Rox, having not seen this, I suppose, you turn back to the cart, or is anybody yelling something out?
Maslin will stand up and say, "Hey, come back to the cart. We need to talk about something."
Okay. The two of you turning around and walking your way back to the cart. Gardak, I suspect a 14 does not hit you.
It does not.
Rox, I suspect a 22 does.
It sure does.
Okay. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
$18.
Okay. Gardak, as you're walking, having Rox just in front of you as you're kind of proceeding back to the cart, you see a crossbow bolt sink its way into Rox's back. Rox, you feel a surge of this binding poison, the likes of which you're not entirely certain, but you've encountered pretty terrible poisons in the Stroth before. Gardak, you see this crossbow bolt, and you immediately know what he meant when he said he had some Seekers with him. These are Prime Seekers, the Rangers of the Empire. I need everybody to roll initiative. So, mind the pretty river, because soon I'm going to move the camera and it'll be gone forever, so all my hard work will not be seen. As I change over the music here and get us prepped for combat. This is terrible. Sort of works though. As at this moment, one of the Prime Seekers, or seemingly no longer having rebelled, you saw perched just off Maslin. All you know is that one is somewhere to your left. You saw the movement in the bushes. However, the one that managed to hit and has revealed himself kind of standing up a bit too much, having fired into Rox's back, is just up there on some fallen rocks that have fallen off of the Bellow Range. So, with initiative, I should probably get my shit in order, shall I?
Do you want me to take damage?
You took 9 points of piercing damage. I thought I had said
Okay,
that.
yep.
Might be if I did not. So, we have ourselves a 25 to 20. $15 to 20.
15.
15 for rocks. 10 to 15.
13.
I was so happy.
10 to 5.
5.
8.
6.
8.
All right.
I
I'm
had-
splitting with somebody.
Was it Maslin and Drusk on 8?
Yeah.
I'm just very
Did I have
lax.
2 5s as well?
5 and a 6.
I was a
think.
6.
Okay, 6 for Zesser and
6 for Zazarin.
5 for Gardak. I did not get you. No, I did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there's 6 players there. That's good. Okay, so
I thought Gardak was 10.
did you say 5 or 10, Gardak?
I said 5.
Okay.
Okay.
First up is the Prime Seekers, who, the one having already revealed himself, is going to go ahead and fire again at the same target. Unless you guys would like to argue, that's kind of where I've placed you. That's the relative area where you all dismounted and got in front of the cart when things started getting a little hectic. I'm considering the horses out of combat, so they don't get slaughtered.
Oh, we got out of the cart?
I mean, unless you wanted to stay in it, I could say you could stay in it.
I think I was the only one that got out.
Okay.
I don't think anyone specified they were out of cart.
I just kind of assumed so that the cart wouldn't be a part of combat. But I can place you further back. That's up to you.
Mm.
I will group you all up then. As you might be on a cart. Sorry. So the one is going to take a shot at the one seeker is going to take a shot at you, Rox, for a 20 to hit.
Yep.
Lucky it's not a natural 20. Need you to make another Constitution saving throw. Good thing you rolled bad.
$13.
13. Okay. You take 5 points of piercing damage. And as you feel this poison course through you once more, you now, having been shot in the back twice, reach back and pull out both bolts in one handful and just kind of hold them aloft, and you can see this poisonous liquid dripping out of the end of the bolts. But you manage to shake it off.
Okay.
The second one, who is currently hidden, is going to fire at Gardak. At advantage, because they're hidden. Wow. I don't think 15 hits you. That
It
is a
does
really
not.
bad roll. Okay. That is their go. And brings us to the one who you've been talking to this whole time. You know what? I don't need this piece of paper. You guys didn't go to Port Talonville. I don't need this one either. You guys didn't go to Port Talonville. I'm going to need that later. Okay. Now we go. With Seldis, who is going to, you see him draw a familiar longsword, kind of that Gardak uses. Presses in. You know I can't let you return to Quilldeep. You'll just report us. As he swings in with 2 strikes. That is a 19 to hit.
That does hit.
And the second strike is a 17 to hit, which I don't believe hits.
That does not hit.
Okay. 7 points of slashing damage. And as he kind of comes in with an undercut with a pommel, you can see he's got a small dagger embedded in his wrist area as he deals an additional 4 points of slashing damage. So I believe it was, what did I say?
7 and 4.
Yeah, 7 and a 4. So 11. Yeah, 11. Okay, that ends their go. Unfortunate on the initiative. And brings us to the top and Rocks. Rocks.
Alright.
You got beef.
I would like to rage.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Keeping those arrows in hand, I believe I can make it to the guy that shot me up on the cliff.
What's your move speed?
40.
Yeah, we'll say you can get there.
Okay. First attack, I would like to just fucking clobber him with my great axe.
Sure.
And that will be 21.
Well, that does hit.
Yes.
Yeah, that hits.
16 points of damage.
Okay. I will subtract that.
Shit. Sorry. 18. Sorry. Getting in the headspace.
Okay.
Second attack, I would like to take those 2 arrows in my hand and stab him in the neck.
Okay. Make an unarmed strike.
Is it still at advantage?
If you're going reckless, I suppose
Yes,
it would be.
I'm sorry, I didn't specify that. I should have. I'm sorry. Shit. 10.
As you kind of strike out with these 2 arrows in your hand, you see as he kind of jumps and twirls. You can see these are not as heavily armored as the one in front, the main one. These, although you're not familiar with them, they seem much more in frame with what you would expect from a Moor's Wayfinder. They are quick, they are agile, and deadly.
Neato.
Unfortunately, that does not hit, however.
Yep.
So, that ends your go, I trust?
Yep.
Okay. That brings us back to the initiative. Brings us to Draku. Maslin, Drusk on deck.
Can you point to the enemies for me?
There is the one in front of Gardak, and the one that you know about up here. Oh, wait. Actually, I think the other one revealed himself because he shot at someone and hit. He's tucked. Oh, God. This is why I have a lazy Susan. He's tucked over there behind some bushes, using his crossbow to his advantage. Actually, he has a longbow. The other one has a crossbow. So there are the 2 here, and then the third off to your left. What are you doing, buddy?
Hello?
Hi.
No, my internet's dropping literally every like 3 to 5 minutes. No, I'll run up to that rock that's in front of me to the right,
Okay.
and then I guess the guy that's high in the air, I'm gonna cast Hex on him, and then I'm gonna Eldritch Blast him.
Okay. He will be hexed as soon as I find the ring for it. but go for it. He is hexed.
Yeah, 17.
17 unfortunately does not hit.
Okay.
As you see him, Rox just kind of he sees the bolts. Well, you have 2 of them, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. I gotta roll.
Go
for
for your
that
second.
one. I'm just gonna let it go. Natural 1.
Okay. As you kind of watch Rox as he kind of dances around this rock that's between you and him, just barely getting these to kind of scatter, and you get blasted as well with shrapnel, both of you kind of shielding your eyes for a second. That is your action. I'm assuming... Oh, your hex was your bonus. Is that your go?
Yep.
Maslin, Drusk, you are together. You may choose Zesserin on deck. Gardak after
I'll
that.
go second.
Have fun, Maslin.
What?
You can go.
Okay, fine.
I gotta look something up.
I'm gonna dismount 10 feet forward, and then the Seeker off to my left. I'm gonna try to strike him with a Chromatic Orb level 3.
Okay, go for it.
That's a 22.
22. Do some quick maths. That does hit. As he
Acid damage.
Okay.
Did not specify, but
That's fine.
there's 27 points of acid damage.
Jesus. What level did you cast that at?
3.
Okay. You said 27, right?
Yep.
Got it. Okay.
Bonus action, I want to use my Cloak of Armor, put my AC to 16.
Is it specified as a bonus action?
I think it's an action.
Oh, never mind then. JK.
Now you know. Drusk, you are up.
I'll hop out the cart, run to the right side. The man with the big mouth that's assailing Gardak.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite that far, just like a little bit.
Sure.
Can I get like 10 feet back? Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
Yeah, good.
The man assaulting Gardak is in kind of like the similar like heavy armor that she's wearing.
He is in the similar Breszi Empire plate armor. His is a different variant, but yeah. It is there.
Dope. Heat metal, 3rd level on his armor.
Okay.
Ooh.
Remind me of how that works again?
He takes 3d8 fire damage. When I cast the spell until the end, I can use a bonus action on each of my turns to cause the damage again. If he's holding or wearing the object, he takes the damage from it. He has to succeed on a con save or drop the object if he can. If he can't, which is heavy armor, which takes 5 minutes to remove without help, he has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability check.
Okay. Roll your damage.
Oh, that bastard. 21 points of fire damage.
Uh-oh.
Damn. That's a good roll.
An 8, a 7, and a 6. So yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm concentrating on heat metal.
Okay. You kind of watch as Gardak, the plate that's on his chest, the crimson begins to actually start to burn away as you can feel the heat just from as you're kind of whirling around getting your sword and shield ready. You can already feel the heat billowing off of him, and you can begin to hear this sizzling, and you can see him just gritting his teeth. That ends your go, I trust, and brings us to Zesserin, Gardak on deck.
Sorry. Bonus action Shillelagh.
Sure. Sorry.
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Well, level 3 fireball, the people right in front of me.
At the guy in front of you? Are you going to sculpt the spell?
Isn't that literally the guy right there?
That is Gardak and one of the assailants, so it seems.
Oh, I can't see them. But,
Gardak is literally face to face with one of them, but you can always sculpt the spell.
Isn't there a group of people up on that rock up there?
There is a person up on that rock. Rox is fighting him right now.
It was in my way.
You can sculpt spells.
Yeah, I know I can. I just feel like it'd be a waste to use a fireball on one person. I'm just gonna do a level 2 Scorching Ray at the person in front of me.
Okay.
Like at one enemy. So
go for it.
Yeah. Son of a bitch. That is a 15.
15 unfortunately does
Oh
not
no,
hit.
wait, no. I rolled a 25.
That's much different, and that does hit.
Yes, it's much different. I don't know why I said 15. 2d6, okay. And I am, if I remember right, this is like 3 blasts.
This is 3
did you
individual
roll all
blasts. Yeah, you have to roll the other 2 to see if they hit.
Oh yeah, that's true. Maybe I'm just gonna do that since I'm gonna hit them with the person. 18 to hit.
18 does hit.
18 does hit. So that's 2. 11.
11 unfortunately does not hit.
All right, so I got 2 rays. 7 points of damage
Okay.
for the one, and 4 points of damage for the second one.
Nice.
Why do we enjoy melting, boys?
You know, it's kind of D&D.
It's
You just
fun.
pick all the fire spells because they're really fucking good against humanoids.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you want to get off the cart, dismount, move? Or are you staying where you're at?
I'm gonna go 20 feet forward and 10 feet to the left.
Okay.
And that's where I'll end.
Staying cloistered near your friends. Gardek, your time has
Alright.
come.
Well, although that boy is toasty, what I was gonna do, I don't want to do anymore. So,
I don't think contact with it is going to hurt you.
Okay.
I'm fairly certain that's not how heat metal works. It's only him.
Hold on. I'll read it. Give me 2 seconds. Keep going. A creature in physical contact with the object when I cast it. I have to reuse my action to reheat it every turn to
so
cause
no.
damage.
And you're hitting him with a blade anyway, so. Well, unless you wanted to
Okay.
shoot him for whatever reason.
Yeah, I'll just use my longsword.
Okay, go for it. You have 2 strikes now, I believe.
I do.
And don't forget
Alright.
your augment.
I won't.
And the fact that you're a battle master.
Battle master.
Battle master.
All right, that first one is real rough. It's a 12.
12, unfortunately.
Oof. And the other one is even worse.
I'm getting you new dice.
I have so many. I have so many.
My metal dice.
Metal dice.
Metal dice.
I don't use them with Drusk, but that's just because I'm a druid.
Bonus action augment, or...
You wouldn't.
I'll fucking try.
Okay.
That's big 14.
Gardek, what the fuck? As you go in for all these strikes, Gardek, you see these 2 flame beams blast off of his armor, and he's just currently getting assailed by general heat. As you go in for 2 strikes, however, he's caught the 3rd bolt with his shield, and as you go in for 2 strikes, he blocks it, and as you kind of fire forward all of the Territe augment, you can see he twists his body and uses the shield just so in order to block. He's a skilled fighter, and so are you. This will be a tough fight. That ends your go. Brings us back up to the top and to the Seekers. The first of which...
I want to use a portents.
When?
Whenever the first seeker attacks.
Okay. What portent are you applying to his attack?
F5.
Drusk, I'm assuming a 12 does not hit you.
No.
Okay. His second shot is going to rain out at you now. A 19 might, though, I hope.
That is my AC, so yes.
Okay. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. For the poison, not for your concentration yet.
21.
Okay. 9 points of piercing damage.
Sorry, my dice jumped out my box.
As this poison begins to course through you, you've had worse, let's be honest. Constitution saving throw for your heat metal.
6.
The heat metal, unfortunately, fades.
I don't know why I expected any different.
But it was so cool.
I mean,
The great use of a 3rd level spell for 3d8 damage.
It was damage. It just happens. See, the wizards have to roll for their 3d8. You just happens. Okay. That ends the first seeker, and the one who is on you now, Rox, you can see he draws this shorter curved sword that kind of curves in at the end. It's forward, almost like a machete. And as he swings it twice at you, you went reckless, so I will be rolling with advantage. That is a 24 to hit.
Yep.
Which I do believe hits. We'll just go ahead and do the second attack at this moment as well. That is a unnatural 20 to hit.
Yep.
So as both hit you, this is going... You are going to be glad you're raging. As I roll double 6s. Jesus. So you take 18 points of slashing damage. Plus... 13 points of poison damage as I roll really poorly.
So 16.
18 halved to 9, and then 13 halved to 6. So 15.
Oh, okay, I rounded. Cool.
I don't know. I honestly can't remember because I play 5 different games and they round up and they round down on different ones.
We round up in
Cool.
both of ours.
Cool. So I guess take that extra point because it'll
Got it.
probably matter. That ends the Seeker's Go and brings us to the one in the center of the road, who is going to take 2 strikes at you again, Gardak.
All right.
The first one is cocked. The first one is a 20 unnatural to hit.
That does hit.
The second one is cocked again. Oh, the second one is a big 13.
That one does not.
Okay. As you take poor rolls all around. 12 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And he is going to... Yeah. You kind of see after he shakes off the heat, readies himself, and just flips his sword around and kind of looks at you. You can see a familiar technique to you. He takes a short breath and gets a second wind. As a Breszi Empire staple. Okay, that ends his go. Rocks, Draco on deck. Maslin Drusk after that.
Question.
Yeah,
Is Finrin just like hiding in the cart, or?
good point. You know who forgot about Fenrir? I did. Here's Fenrir. And I'll roll initiative for him.
Oh,
I forgot I get to play D&D today. As well as run it.
Well, while you do that,
Yep,
I'm gonna whack recklessly, please.
go for it.
Same guy.
I would imagine so. You know, I see DMs all the time forgetting about their characters, and now I'm not surprised. Said a 19?
Mm-hmm.
That does actually not hit, as you see he brings his sword around and parries you.
Oh. Okay, I'm gonna do it.
Damn.
again.
Yeah, do it again.
15.
15, unfortunately. As he kind of parries you and then dodges out of the way, doing another short flip. Like I said, these guys are quick. And they can parry. It brings us to, unless you wanted to move. Or use bonus action for anything.
No, I'm good.
That brings us to Draku, while I roll some initiative for Fenrir here. Fenrir rolled a natural 1, so you know,
As
nothing
far as
really
the
happened.
guy that text from me,
Beyond 30, but under 60. He's about 40 feet from you.
what about that guy that's just out in the middle of the open? Is he?
The one in
What was
combat
the-
with rocks? Or,
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
Gardak?
about.
He is standing where you are. He is exactly 30.
Why not? I guess I'll have a little fun. I'll move my hex to him, and then I'm just gonna witch bolt him.
Okay. What does that entail?
I gotta make a ranged spell attack.
Okay, go for it.
Will you allow me to use my inspiration and roll with advantage?
Yes, that's what it's there for.
Probably did. 21.
21 does hit.
All right, he now takes 3d12 every round.
Okay. Is Witch Bolt concentration?
Yes, it is. That means hex would drop, which is fine. Whatever. Uh, 22.
There goes a second wind. Okay. As you kind of strike out with this lance of energy, Gardak, you're standing right in front of this guy, and all of a sudden this connecting beam of lightning that just continues strikes his shield and then curves up and under, and you can see it kind of hits him in like the rib cage area and just the part where he's not protected. Same as you. Okay. That ends your go, or did you want to move? Draku.
Oh, I apologize. No, I am just gonna stay there.
Maslin, Drusk in tandem, Zesserin on deck. Gardak after that.
You
wanna
wanna go?
go?
Or you want me to go?
I'll go. Chromatic Orb, level 1, same guy who I attacked before.
Go for it.
Oh, yes. That's a fat fucking... Alright, what's my plus on that? Yeah. It's a fat 23.
That hits. Roll your damage.
14.
14. Got it.
Oh, acid damage again.
They don't have any resistances, so you really don't have to tell me. But thanks for specifying. As you kind of shoot out this light, and then it turns into this glob of acid, which then strikes up down his armor, or his cloak. He doesn't really have proper armor. You can see it begins to melt away some of it. And part of it kind of breaks away, and his cloak is painted crimson similarly as well. I should have noted. He kind of shrugs off the part that is burning away. Nicely done. Drusk. Zesserin on deck, Gardak after. And then Fenrin, who I probably should figure out what he did last turn.
Yeah, I'm not really gonna stand for this.
I will put my bone club back onto my belt. I don't know if I have a belt. I'll just kind of hook it back where I normally keep it. And then I will kind of circle my hand in the air, and I will create a 120-foot wide storm cloud sent over the motherfucker that shot me. And I'm going to call lightning on his ass.
Okay.
I need a deck save, please. 16.
Sure thing. Let's see what he gets in addition.
It's about to be me and Sea of Thieves just electrocuted over and over and over.
You said DC 16?
Yep.
That is a 23.
Okay. He takes half.
Okay. And you are now concentrating on something.
So he takes 5.
Okay. I will mark that down before I forget, as I'm trying to juggle what Fenrin is doing. That is your turn? Or did you want to move?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Well,
you know what?
I'll move a little. I'll move. Can I move like back and around and towards the rock? Just I want to get closer to him, but in like a circular fashion, I guess. I don't know. Like behind the cart.
You want to move this way? Oh yeah.
Yes, but like circle around from behind the cart.
Sure.
Don't forget, you get
So that's
bonus
about
to
30.
hiding behind stuff.
Yeah, you do. But you risk damage in the cart. Okay. I will say that Fenrin, because I was stupid, cast a healing word on rocks, so I will roll that now. Zesser and Gardak on deck. Healing word. It's not much, but it's honest work. Rocks. 5 points of healing.
Nice.
What you got, Zesser?
You're
You're muted.
How far is the guy in front of me?
He's like literally 30 feet.
Oh, okay, cool.
He's currently
I'm
engaged
gonna-
in a battle with Gardak.
Well, I'm going to take a chip of Mika out, and I'm going to cast Shatter.
Okay.
So-
Are you sculpting the spell so as not to hurt your friend?
Yep.
Okay.
He needs to make a con save of 16.
Okay. Now it's cocked, even though I really would have liked that one. Oof. 11.
Yeah. 7 points of thunder damage.
Okay. Gardak, you're still in melee. You're readying your shield. You've just seen him take this witch bolt that's kind of striking him in the rib cage. And it's at this moment that you're not ready when a blast just booms between you as you see this piece of Mika fly in. Zesserin kind of twisting his hands, and you can see around you this wind that literally comes out in a V pattern to protect you solely from the spell. Nicely done. Gardak,
That's my turn.
with Fenrir on deck. I should probably figure out what Fenrir's going to do.
All right, I guess. I'll make another 2 attacks with my longsword.
Okay, go for it.
Yeet. Fuck's sake. Okay, 10 and another 10.
Bonus action?
Bonus action.
Cry.
16.
16 unfortunately does not hit.
Fuck's sake.
Gardak. Caroline, please. Please. I'm begging you.
I'm trying.
You're hurting me.
Oh.
Man, oh man. Alright. You watch as Fenrir kind of, now having just dispersed a bit of healing, hops off the cart. Moving a little closer to your imp, which I suspect you would have had your imp following you.
Yeah.
Might be. You know, there's only 12 different things here. And as he does, you can see him pull out this small sliver of iron, kind of runs it down his palm, and he goes, "Oh no, we'll not be having any of that." Casting Hold Person on the one that many of you have been targeting. That is a wisdom save on his part. Ooh. And he unfortunately resists the spell. So you watch as this seeker off to the left kind of freezes up for a second, then out of it. And you can see Fenrir kind of looking at the piece of iron and go, oh. That ends his go. Brings us back up to the top. And to the seekers. The one who is on you, Rox, is locked in a melee combat. So he's going to take 2 strikes at you.
Me?
Yes. I
Cool.
suppose reckless, shall I?
Yep.
That is a 24 to hit.
Ooh, yep.
And the second
God,
strike,
Spencer.
these are the trained guys, is a 25
Yep.
to hit.
Go for
As
it.
you take... 12 points of slashing damage.
Mm-hmm.
And... 19 points of poison damage, reduced to half.
Oh,
So both of those were
Okay.
half. So I said
Yeah.
12. I need to write these down in the future.
Yeah, so it's
20.
16 total points of damage.
oh, never mind.
Yep. If I'm doing my math right. Not that I have any fucking memory left. Okay. However, that ends that one's go. The one that you guys are fucking up is... What is he gonna do? Yeah. Yeah, I need, actually, let me look this up to make sure. I don't want to do this wrong. But at the very least, I need Maslin and Zesserin to make dexterity saving throws for me.
Oh no.
9.
18.
18. Nice. You watch as he kind of extends his hand. Kind of this mote of light flies out at the two of you. Unfortunately, Maslin, you don't quite catch it. Can't talk. I guess I'll drink some water. As a familiar spell that you've seen Drusk cast before lands upon you, you have been fairy fired.
Ooh.
However, that is his action. He is going to... Come on. How much fun would this be? Nah, he's not going to do it. As he begins... to move a little closer to his ally. Unless... I don't think anyone had anything restraining on him, did they?
No.
Okay, that must be the heat metal that I'm thinking about, but it's gone. Okay. That is his go, however, and brings us to the one you're locked in melee with, Gardak. 2 more strikes your way.
All right.
That is a 21 to hit.
That hits.
And a natural 20.
Oof.
So the first strike against you that is not the natural 20 is... Oh, wait, he's not. He still is. Yeah, this is going to be bad. 6 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
An additional 9 points of slashing damage for 15. How you looking, Gardak?
I mean, not great.
Well, here's the crit. As I roll double ones on the first set, and because he's there, so 4 plus 6, 7, 8, 20 plus 20 plus 5, 25 points of slashing damage.
Oh yeah, I'm down.
Okay.
Yikes.
You guys watch as this Prime Guard defector in front of Gardak strikes and then feigns low and strikes at the same spot where he's currently being hit by a witch bolt. The exposed underneath of the ribcage. Gardak falls slack in front of you guys. He does not have a heat metal on him anymore. Okay, that, however, is the extent of his turn, which is good because he would have killed you if he had the chance. That ends his go. Rox, you are up. Draco on deck. Mazlin and Drusk. After.
Let me smash. Reckless again.
Go for it.
17.
17, unfortunately. As he kind of dodges out of the way. He's quick on his feet. He's not wearing as much armor, but he's fast.
One more.
One more. Go for it.
Better. Okay, 24.
Yeah, you can't parry that. That hits. Go for it.
14.
Okay. 14 points of damage to the one on the cliff. That's good. We'd like to see it. Ooh. Okay. Is that the extent of your go?
Yeah.
Okay. As you finish up, brings us to Draku. Witch bolt.
Yeah.
Mazlin and Drusk on deck.
15 damage.
15, nice. As I believe this now takes him under... Just gotta do some quick maths. No, not quite. You can see he's taking hits, but he seems to be still in fighting form, but he's starting to lose. He's starting to lose his ability to continue fighting at the rate that he is. As you guys are putting damage on this kid. Mazlin, Drusk, Zessarin after them.
Bonus action healing word level 2 on Gardak.
Go for it.
Oh yeah, you're welcome, Gardak. 7.
Gardak, you are conscious with 7.
All right.
Action call lightning on the guy that's running.
Yep.
Dex save 16.
Gotcha. Let's see if we can do it. Natural 1.
Well, he takes 9 points of lightning damage.
Okay. He's not looking the greatest he's ever looked.
I was like, give him a little static electricity, just a little bit.
Zip, zip.
Zip zap, zip zap. Okay. That ends your go. Did you want to move back around the cart as now he's kind of...
Yeah, I'll flank back to essentially exactly where I was. We're just playing Ring Around the Rosie.
Yep. You're just able to see everything. That ends Drusko, Zesserin, Gardek, then Fenrin.
Maslin.
Oh, sorry.
I'm gonna cast Chromatic Orb level 3 on the guy in heavy armor.
Yeah, go for it.
One.
We hate to see it.
Maslin, as you've watched Gardak fall, and concern is set in, and you're trying to push the light through this prism, and you do, but unfortunately it just goes high and sails. Just the light continues on. You failed to infuse the spell with the actual activation when it churns into the element, and it just, you see this sunbeam kind of go off and into the distance. You hate to see it.
That's all.
Zesserin, Gardak, then Fenrin.
Okay. Well, let's see.
Try to figure out what Fenrin's gonna do. I know what Fenrin's gonna do.
I'm gonna take the same person that I've been attacking this whole time with the ice knife.
The one that's against Gardak here?
Yep.
Okay. I do not think you can sculpt the reaction of the spell. Just so that you are aware.
I think it is an evocation spell, and I think his thing just it just needs to be an evocation spell with it that recalls a save, but I could be wrong.
I just
don't
think
know the
because it
exact
hits and then it shatters. I don't know. I'll look at that, but I don't really guess Time for me to house rule it on the fly. Are you still casting Ice Knife? Knowing that I'll house rule it at some point here, whenever I get it to load.
Well, if I can't sculpt it, I probably won't.
I'm going to look at the nature of your sculpt spell and make a decision. You're free to think of something else until I can get to your character sheet and read it.
Alright.
In the meantime, Gardak, you are currently on the ground. We'll at least get you as far as standing up. Unless I house rule this and Zesserin ends up downing you.
I think Ice Knife is Conjuration.
Yeah, I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna attack my shatter, so con save is 16.
Okay.
A level 3 shatter, so
We'll see what he can do. Ooh, he rolls a natural 1. He's gonna re-roll a saving throw, Indomitable. And rolls a freaking 6. Total of 12. Doesn't succeed.
nope.
That's 1 Indomitable wasted. Yikes.
Takes 14 points of thunder damage.
This might put him. 14, gotcha. Do you want to move? Is that all you got?
That's all I got.
Gardak, you are conscious but on the floor.
All right.
Assuming you stand up.
Yeah. Yep. We're gonna fucking do it again. 2 longsword strikes.
Go for it.
Alright, first one is 18.
18 does hit.
Second one's a 26.
Those both hit.
Okay. 15 points total.
Oof. Thank God you haven't been hit the whole time.
And then bonus action Terrorite Augment.
That was 15 between both of your hit strikes?
Yeah, combined.
Gotcha. Go for it. Terror Augment.
24.
That hits. Roll you some damage.
5.
5 points of damage. Oops. Bad math. Bad math. Got a stinky boy on math over here. Okay. As you kind of stand up, you use your long sword to get to your feet, twirl it around in your hand. He's reeling from a number of things. All of your friends attacking him, the witch bolt that's still on him. However, you go in for 2 strikes, and it's at that moment when you two focus up. He goes in to block, but you feint and strike low, and again. And then you reach forward with a shield and Territe Augment. And rather than going for his midsection, you play it smart and go for his legs. And you can see at this moment, he's starting to fade. There's a... You've trained a lot of Prime Guard in your past, in your history. They're short burst fighters. When they start getting hurt, they can't do as much anymore. He's starting to lose that edge. However, that ends your go, I trust.
Yeah.
And brings us to Fenrir, who is going to... There is no component. It's just concentration. Having not succeeded on his offensive move, is going to go ahead and drop a Healing Spirit on you, Gardak. I am fairly certain... Okay, I'm just going to roll it, because I think that's how it works. You heal 6 points of damage.
Yay.
As you kind of look underneath you. And underneath you is this aura that kind of comes out of the ground. It's... As the grass kind of twists and vies with his healing power, you can see this almost radiant energy pour into you. It's keeping you sustained, and that place is, although he can move it, that place is of healing at the moment. So for each turn, you will heal. So long as he can keep concentration on that. That ends Fenrir's go, brings us back up to the Seekers. The first of whom, yeah, is going to take 2 shots at you, Draku, because you are fucking up his commander.
Fuck him!
First one's a natural 2, which I'm not going to bother equating. The second one, however, is a 20... Oh, wrong stat block. Not a 24, 22.
I mean, yeah.
You take... I need a Constitution saving throw from you. As you also take 6 points of piercing damage.
Oh, yeah, 19.
Okay. You can maintain Witch Bolt as he kind of levels this longbow, and you can see the poison-tipped arrow coming at you. You manage to succeed. Oh, sorry, that was a Constitution saving throw on your evading being poisoned. You shrug off the poison. Now make a Constitution saving throw to maintain your concentration. Might be.
Wait, is it con again?
Yep.
14?
That succeeds.
Okay.
You only took 6 points of piercing damage, so you're good.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what you're alluding
To
to.
maintain concentration on a spell, your DC is 10 or half of the damage you took, whichever is higher.
Right.
Alright. Okay. I don't have anything. Oh yeah, it was 6 damage, right?
Yes, it's only 6. Who was going? Oh, the first Seeker. The other one, in melee with you, Rox. You guys are tussling it out up here. He's not looking good, by the way. In case that... Oh, you went Reckless. Roll at advantage. That is a 19 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one is a natural 20.
Motherfuck.
Well. So the first hit on you is going to do... I'm on the right stat block, yes. 9 points reduced to half, so 5.
Okay.
Then the poison damage from the first strike. That's cocked. I would love to take that 6, but I won't. 5 points of poison damage as I roll the worst I've ever rolled.
3.
Now for the crit.
Yep.
12 points of slashing damage, reduced to 6. Because you're raging. And then the poison, which is also doubled. 18 points of poison damage, reduced to 9.
What was that first one? Just the first one.
Oh, jeez.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not looking great.
Okay. I mean, I can re-roll it if you want, but I genuinely do not recall the first number.
I thought it was-
So if the first two were what?
I got the rest of
3
them.
and
The first one was 3. Okay. Then yeah. All right.
I can't remember if I'm remembering your halved numbers or the actual numbers that I rolled, so I'm not even gonna
No,
try.
that's okay. If it was, yeah. I was just double checking. I got, yeah. Okay.
All right, that ends both of the Seekers' goes. However, brings us to the one standing in front of you, Gardak, locked in a melee battle, assailed by multiple opponents.
Save yourself.
Nah. He can't let Gardak report him. The whole uprising could be crushed. It's only a 15 to hit though, so I don't think that hits on the first one. Second
it does
one.
Not hit.
The second one, however, is an 18 plus things, which I think your AC is 18.
Yes, it
so
is.
now you can see as he swings out, his form not as good, and his attacks not as strong. Only 12 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
As he is no longer in fighting fit form. Okay, that ends their go. Rocks. Draco on deck.
Okay. Same guy. Reckless. Whack.
Go for it.
Non-natural 20.
That does hit.
12.
On the second strike, does not hit. Probably should have had him
Okay.
better.
No, 12 damage.
Oh, 12 damage. Got it. He ain't looking good.
How not good? Like,
Better than you,
pretty
I would
not good?
imagine.
Yeah. Okay. Another one. Fine. 21.
I'll say for the fun of it, because he's not going to do anything else with his reaction, he attempts to parry, but you get through it as you manage to meet his parried AC.
Okay. Whoo. Okay. 19.
Ooh. As you go in with these two strikes, hitting him left and then right as he tries to parry, you literally like knock the sword almost out of his hands and he barely catches it. And you just drive this huge gash down his leg. You can see he immediately drops fighting form. He's not good.
Bonus action. Can I take my potion of healing?
Sure, go for it.
Thank
2d4
you.
plus 2, I think. That ends your go. I'll let you roll that independently. Draku, you're up. Maslin, Drusk on deck.
Which bolt?
Which bolt? It's good, consistent damage, man.
20.
Oof. All right. You can see most of the opponents on the field not very much in fighting fit form anymore. You guys are chewing through them. Anything else you want to do on your turn, Draku?
He's not dead after 20 damage of electricity?
He is not.
Dick. Alright, that's it.
That's fair. That's fair. Maslin, Drusk.
Targeting the Seeker all the way to the left. Chromatic
Okay.
Orb level 2.
Go for it.
Acid damage. And 16.
16, unfortunately, does not hit. As he sees it coming and kind of dodges out of the way. He's quick, guys. Does that end your go, or did you want to move?
Yeah, that ends it.
Okay. Oh, I should probably say he was concentrating on Fairy Fire. I think he got hit. I'll make him roll one.
He did.
Well, maybe not. He would have succeeded anyway. I rolled a 16. No, Witch Bolt is on the main guy. The Seeker is not the one. Seeker's the one who concentrated on Fairy Fire on Maslin. I just blanked on it. Drusk.
I'd like to run forward 30 feet in the direction of Gardak.
That'll get you there.
That's unfortunate, not nearly as far as I wanted it to go. That's okay. Bonus action, healing word level 2 on rocks. 8.
Thank you.
8. Nice. And for your actions,
Action, I would like to...
Possessor and go on deck.
Seeker.
Go for it. Deck save on his part. Ooh, it's cocked, but I would have taken that natural 20. Oh, it's a fucking 3. No. 10.
16 points of lightning damage.
He falls. That is exactly his HP,
Rip.
as he is fried like a crispy boy.
No more fairy fire.
That's true. I don't think Mazin's gonna get shot at anyway. There's bigger fish to fry.
Well,
Who
we
knows?
can hope.
Who knows? That ends your guys' go, I believe. And brings us to Zesser and Gardeck on deck. Fenrir after.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, so which ones are left?
There is the one that is in melee with Gardeck and the one that is in melee with Rocks up on the cliff up here. The one you've been shooting at is dead in front of you. Well, he's not dead, but he's in front of you.
Okay, well. Good thing he's dead. I'll go to the next one. Probably the one on the floor still.
Sure. What are we doing?
What are we doing? Let's see here.
Yeah,
Probably do a
Fenrir.
probably do a level 2 scorching ray.
Go for it. Roll your 3 attacks.
On a roll. That's a that's a 24 to hit.
Okay. Roll your second.
That's a natural 20. So
All right. Roll your third.
that one's getting doubled. That one's an 18.
Those all 3 hit. Make sure to remember your
Alright.
middle one is the crit. So double
Yep.
that middle one.
Oh, I will. That's a 3 for
Okay.
the first one.
Roll better.
You double this one.
14 for the next one.
That's doubled.
Yep, that's doubled.
Okay.
And then the next one is another 3.
Okay. You watch as Zesserin kind of gathers together his flames in his hand, shoots him out, and as it kind of goes out in this gout, it splits into 3 beams which strike him from every angle conceivable. He's completely ineffective at blocking all of them, what with the Witch Bolt and Gardak and everything else here. I think actually, Gardak, you would have healed... Check out how Healing Spirit works. I think it's on your turn.
Yeah, it is on your turn or where you enter it.
Starts his turn there. Gardak, you would have healed another 4, because I'm not paying attention to the Fenrir. Okay, sorry. Did you want to move, Zesserin, or is that all you got?
Oh no, I'll just stay here.
Okay. Gardak, you're up. Before you stands
Alright.
a battered rebel. A traitor of the Breszi Empire.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll just take 2 more attacks with my longsword.
Go for it.
Might as well.
Might as well.
Do that. Or at least attempt to. Alright, first one is
You ain't looking good.
23.
No, that totally hits.
And the second one's a 26.
That hits.
Oh. Where did that go?
Lost to the ether.
Alright. $17 total.
Okay. As we're getting ready to move on to Fenrir's turn, I need you to flare your finish, Gardak.
Hey!
Yay! Finally. Just, I don't know. Straight into the shoulder.
Okay. As he's getting battered by the various scorching rays flying at him, the witch bolt still connected to his form, just drawing the life from him. Gardak, you quite simply batter away his shield, and you just hack him right in the shoulder. And as he kind of like bleeds, you can see the crimson streak sort of burnt away by the heat metal, repainted by the blood as he falls, knees, then prone. Done. Nice job. That brings us to Fenrir, who is, at this point, literally a one-trick pony. kind of moseys his way through all of you. You can see him pulling out another piece of iron and running it down his wrist as he tries to cast Hold Person on the Seeker up there. Where's my D20? I very well can't play D&D without a D20. Saving throw on that. I can take a picture. It's actually a natural 1. As he is paralyzed. Or held, or whatever it is. He's fucked, is what he is. Okay, that ends Fenrin's go. That brings us to the Seeker's turn, who I think gets to make another save. I'm literally just kit bashing this. Rolls a natural 4. He fucking fails. Yeah, okay, great. Rox, you're up. This dude looks... Yeah, at advantage, whatever, because he's fucked.
Yeah. No reckless, just whack. 18.
That hits.
It's an auto crit.
Yeah.
So do I roll all the damage like I crit?
Well, for the sake of this, I want to do something special. Why don't you just flare your finish? But feel free to roll your damage for the stats.
Okay.
Because he has 8 HP and you're about to
11,
murder him.
11 doubled. 22 plus 8, 30. 7.
I hate
42 from the axe, because you get an extra 7.
You do.
I doubled with 7 too? No, I added the 7.
You get 7, and then you get 7 from the axe when you crit. So it's 42.
42.
Splat.
I hate you so much.
Yeah, this guy just goes still, and I take my opportunity to just fucking slice the man in half.
As you see him kind of frozen as you go in for your 2 strikes, you can see a slight reaction on the second one where he's trying to fight. He's trying to parry all of his training, everything. It's not a possible action, however, as you just carve him asunder. As you watch the blood and life drain from his eyes, slowly his eyes close, you see Fenrin down there kind of holding aloft the spell, goes, oh, and just like drops it, and as soon as he does, the body clumps to the ground. That brings us to the end of combat.
I will quickly walk towards the captain, who I'm assuming is still bleeding out in front of us.
He's pretty damn well dead. What are you trying to do?
Oh, is he dead or is he bleeding out?
You know what? I'll just roll to see if he even lived. He did not live.
Nope, okay.
I'm very curious what you were trying to do, but...
I was going to heal him.
I mean...
My intention wasn't to murder these random people.
They were ready to do the same to you.
They were ready to do the same to you.
Does that mean they deserve to die?
I mean, he had a family in
He had a
Ridgebane.
family. He had a just and noble cause that Drusk believed in and relates to. Like,
I know.
I
it
had
was-
families too that was in danger, so I'm not feeling bad about it.
I'm going by Skyrim rules. Everyone dies.
Okay.
As you kind of approach the fallen form of the figure that introduced himself as Seldus Harrell, you assess, and Drusk, you've seen plenty. Gardak strikes are too efficient.
okay.
As for the other 2 Seekers, one seemingly burnt to a crisp, the other torn asunder by rocks. You are not sure if he had other allies or if their fight continues on. You kind of all look back and you see Fenrin, not used to this sort of thing, heavy of breath, confused as he's kind of taken in all of the vestments of the opponents. You guys find yourselves between the Vinbor range and the drop to the Qatar divide at the gate, or silly little stone gate, as it were.
I'll loot the bodies for information and gold.
Okay. Make an investigation check on the leader, I suppose.
Cure wounds level 2 on rocks.
Okay.
13.
Thank you.
20.
20. As you're digging over his fallen form, the metal not warped by the heat metal, but lost its color, now coated in blood. It is a set of Breszi Empire Prime Guard armor. It has been defaced, but probably could be polished up. Still functional, however. You find a standard longsword. Unfortunately for you, Gardak, no augment within his shield. You find, actually, a various bit of writing within his coat. It describes his placements, which were to the northeast of Limehold Garrison in the Tripping Fields, watching over recruits. And this carries on for weeks, these logs. And the logs that he makes become increasingly less professional and increasingly more frustrated as he begins to note things that, if you're sharing with Gardak, are not standard Breszi Empire logging errata. He begins to lament about the leadership, as he described, of... Oh, fudge. Of course I have the wrong thing. He laments about the leadership of Mira Dursk, the commandant of all 3 contingents stationed at the Limehold Garrison. He begins talking about having run across a group of hopefuls who hope to defect, originally intending to report them, but then having a change of heart and deciding to join up with them. They are known as the Colum Reclamation, and their goal was to bring freedom to the people of Ridgebane, as Mira Dursk, not but a week ago, began to march on the uprising of miners there. Zesserin, so kind of poring over all this. This seems to stick with your experience passing through Ridgebane. The unhappiness, unrest in Ridgebane, the bandits you encountered on the road when you were with Ekri and Silent. They were from Ridgebane as well. They looked like miners. This is something that has been growing to a boiling point, it seems, for a while, as you guys kind of all discuss amongst yourselves.
DM, I would like to make my way down off that cliff, bring the body down and put it with the other, kind of walk over to Gardak and say, I'm sorry about that. I guess that was my fault. I figured they would let us go if they thought that you thought that I was in your custody. Imagine.
It's all right, babe. We're a threat to the Empire. That's all there is to it.
The logs go on to explain that the majority of the first and second contingents, which are known as the first contingent is primarily the main foot soldiers and the flank task, which is the cavalry division, and the second is the shieldsmen in frontline formation and advancement contingents, while the third is the prime guard and prime seekers. It goes on to explain the majority of the prime guard and prime seekers have defected outright after not only was the third contingent not taken to Ridgebane by Mira Dursk, but it seems that only the first and second contingents, which are more... He begins to lament that they don't care about the citizens. They're your standard soldier who looking for the next fight, whereas some of the prime guards, prime seekers, maybe care about the citizens a bit more. As Fenrin slowly mounts back up on the cart, the rest of you do what?
I'll get in the cart.
Yeah, I'm ready to move on. We're done here.
Same.
Okay. Guys, continuing on. As you pass the fallen corpses near the Bellow Range, it's only about another day's travel, but the sun is beginning to set, so we'll have another night's rest. I won't call on watches. I'll tell you out as a DM, travel's getting a little easier. There ain't much of a threat. However, you may discuss on any watches you would propose, or even amongst yourselves anything you would like, or we'll move on to the final day of travel on your arrival about midday at Limehold Garrison.
Are deserters like this common in the Empire? You seem not to have shown very much emotion in their plight, Gardak. Is that because you don't empathize with them, or is it because this is a commonplace thing?
I don't know if it's commonplace, but sure didn't want us to live, so probably not.
Well, you know what they say about silence.
Okay.
So, the majority of you all making camp. Questions unanswered. However, you find your way to rest. And then again, in the morning, the sun rises over the now very, very distant Venbor Range, crests over the top of the Bellow Range, which you're now in the shadow of. You can see the walls of the Limehold garrison looming in the distance, about a good quarter to half day's travel, depending. Fenrir kind of gathering together his bedroll and everything else.
Continuing on, I guess.
Yep.
Okay. You're all pressing on for another quarter of a day to half a day. And now you can see the Limehold garrison. As you come in on the central road, there's one that connects to the left as you pass. And all within is the Tripping Fields. I don't know if you care to share, Gardak. This is the training ground of most of the contingents of the northern Breszi Empire, as the Tripping Fields make for good obstacle courses, and other dangers contained within. As you come upon the proper site of the Limehold garrison, you can see a collection of trees kind of surrounding the road on each side, and the walls, and a large 15-foot-tall gate, which kind of surrounds this whole garrison, very on the edge, on the very precipice of this cliff that you've been traveling along for quite some time now, which drops into the Guitar Divide. And now it's not hard to see the two wires, the two cables, which run down of the Bateau gondola. As you kind of make your way closer and closer to the gate, I'd say with each of your passive perceptions, because they're not trying to hide, you see a couple prime guard or guardsmen of some form on the top of the crenulations of the wall, as you guys kind of slow to a stop outside the gate. "Who approaches the Limehold garrison?" is shouted down from the wall at you. "Well, I guess we better go introduce ourselves, hmm?"
Think so. It's probably for the best.
I mean, we approach.
Okay. As you all kind of dismount and get out from the cover of the cart, which is one concern that they probably have, you kind of all present yourselves, and amongst them they can easily spy Gardak's bronzium armor. "By the command of Acting Commandant Bravin Kotsk, why is a prime custodian in the Northern Breszi Empire? Why were we not informed?"
Why are you so nosy?
"There's a rebellion in Ridgebane, citizen.
Sounds like you should quell it then. Guard.
Commandant Mira Dursk took a contingent that way. 2, in fact. Not that you would be privy to that information."
We're just trying to make our way to the capital. There's a lot of shit going on behind us. We're trying to take care of it. We're not any threat to you.
As he kind of raises a hand. Everybody make perception checks. And you can see he glances over his shoulder as if to address somebody.
21.
9.
9.
18.
15.
Drusk, you manage to see in the surrounding trees and whatnot a small emergence and movement. You can only assume these are more prime seekers. Maybe not defectors, though. As his hand is still raised, you can see he's called someone forward. It's a kind of a smaller, younger man. And he's got this long black hair that's kind of down to his shoulders. And you can see as he kind of looks out. That's cocked. Yeah, okay. You can see the two of them discussing, and the one who seems to be maybe a second in command, you're not certain, kind of like raises his hands, and you can see this kind of pleading maneuver. And then at once the bows of the Seekers are lowered, and the gates open up. You are allowed to proceed in. Fenrir Says, "Oh well, I'm really glad I don't hang out near garrisons a lot. I suppose this is goodbye. For now."
Think so?
Safe travels back, Fenrir.
Well, I'll be fine. Nobody would attack just a simple man in a straw hat.
You know, so
Yeah, I can handle myself. As long as they don't resist my spells like they did there. Oh well. I'll be fine.
Very well, friend.
Thank you.
Hope you find what you're looking for. As Fenrir kind of gathers the cart, swinging it around, you all, I assume, begin to walk your way into the entrance of the Limehold garrison, the 15-foot tall doorway looming above. You can see, just descending from the stairs that kind of run along the walls here, a familiar sight to you, Zessarin. Ekrine Silent. The man who escorted you west and said he was coming back to the Limehold garrison, hoping to make it into the Prime Guard. There's a big smile on his face. And as he descends, that's where we're going to pick up next session.
No, I was clearing my throat and ready to talk and everything. I was like, all right, it's time to shine.
Maybe next time.
Guess so.
Well, that was a doozy.
Twas.
How we all doing?
Good.
I decided to
I
keep
mean,
it short this time because we ran long on the one either last or before last. So I figured I'd kind of even it out here.
Even Stevens.
Well,
I get to ride a gondola. Yay.
you're not certain yet, but maybe.
Well, we just let our ride leave, so I hope so. Fuck.
I think we're walking.
That's true.
On the road again.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens. I know one
we might
thing.
turn around and
I'm excited to see it.
we might turn around and just decide we're gonna go liberate Ridgebane of their minor problem.
You mean their Breszi Imperial Army problem? Or do you intend to join the Imperial Army?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. These miners sound like they're causing some problems.
You'd have some real issues with Drusk on that one.
From a certain point of view.
Uh-oh.
I don't actually, and neither does Maslin actually feel that way.
Civil War.
Who knows? It's a big world. Well, thank you guys for joining me. That was fun.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you.
I liked the enemies that I ran, even though simple they were. I just like running. I just like running humanoids, man. They're just like, it's great. I don't know. Like your big monsters are spooky and scary, but they just, I don't know. Maybe it's not all it's cracked up to be. Who knows?
You definitely get.